Hey everyone, we're back on the hardwood with another NBA team in the association. I have three individuals from the Cleveland Cavaliers. First up, we have Adam Hines. He's the director of game presentation. We have Josh Sabo. He's the senior coordinator of game presentation. And lastly, but not least, we have Nicole Faucheux, who's game presentation coordinator. Hey guys, hope you guys are good. Hope the weather isn't too cold in Cleveland. Hope the season's going well. Thanks for joining me. The reason why we're here is to talk in-venue production. It's one of those weird years that some teams have fans, some teams don't. You're one of the teams that do have fans. So let's start there with fans in the stands. What are you playing for them on the video board, and how is crowd noise playing a role?
So I guess I'll go ahead and kick it off.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it. Excited to be on this call. But yeah, so far it's been great. You know, we started off the season with 300 fans, and then recently have increased to 2,000 fans. So that's been a big jump, and it's been really great. Implementing crowd noise. We're all using Firehouse Productions. And I believe all 30 teams throughout the league were all using the same system, and it's been a big help. It's interesting. The role, you have to be super into the game. You can't really miss a beat. But it's really been able to help, our players feel like it's a real game. It's been able to help the atmosphere and the whole building. And what's interesting is our crowd noise is not only playing in venue, it's also getting feed out to our broadcast. So the crowd noise you hear on the broadcast is what we're pushing in game as well. And then our video board elements, I'll turn it over to Adam.
Thanks for having us. So, video board, it's really a collaborative effort this year. We're doing a lot of different stuff than what we've done in the past. You usually have a pretty heavy corporate rotation. You have, your deal or no deals, on-court activations, all that's, taking a backseat for the time being. So we've been really working heavy with our digital team. They've been pushing out great content. We've been working with our partner, Fox Sports Ohio, who broadcasts our games. They've got great content, and we're just filling those timeouts with things. Some of the other things that we're doing and looking to continue to innovate and improve upon are how can fans continue to sit in their seats and still be a part of the game and play along during timeout. So one of the classic games that we brought back this year is just the shuffle game, where it's like, hey, you got 3 cups. We do it with one of our partners, Piggy Bank Shuffle. It's a coin. It goes 1, 2, 3, shuffles around, and then the whole crowd gets to pick. Hey, where is it? 1, 2, 3. And everyone is super involved in that. It's really engaging. It gives everyone an opportunity to play along from their seats. So that's great. Some of the other stuff we're doing is pre-recorded pieces with our entertainers. So on dark days in the FieldHouse, we'll have them come in. We'll shoot on the court. We've shot at areas of our newly renovated FieldHouse. So that's been really successful, and it's great, especially because we can go down there on the court. Especially when we shot those pieces on the court, we were all talking. We're like, man, we really do miss being down here doing those timeouts, because it's definitely a staple of what we do of our stage down there for the games. So other than that, I'm not sure, Nicole or Josh, if I'm missing anything, but it's been different this year. Especially even our mascots. We have a secondary stage up in our upper concourse, which is our Laville seating area, where we have mascots up there. We'll do a couple small, contests where, we're following the safety protocols, right, where they've got their own mic on a stand. But other than that, it's definitely been different. But, we're innovating, and we're looking forward to see how we can continue to do that throughout the season.
Josh, you mentioned a lot about the city uniforms before we jumped on the call. You want to dive a little deeper in how you're partnering with a neighboring kind of institute in itself in Cleveland?
Yeah, it was a really exciting opportunity with our city edition this year. We partnered with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. It's actually a plan that's over a year in the making. So a lot of times when the season shut down in March, we kind of went right to work on that plan, kind of taking where we left off like early in the year, right, and really started connecting with the Rock Hall on a bunch of different elements that we could do to emphasize this. And we kind of established 12 main themes for the nights that we were going to wear the jersey at home. And all of those are music related. We just got done with a Motown night when the Pistons were in town, which was really awesome. We had some great content, and the music obviously, helped out with that as well. We have a Women Who Rock night coming up, which is featuring a lot of, the female Rock Hall inductees. And I think one of the keys is we were trying to like make it so it wasn't, I think everybody has this misconception that Cleveland is all about rock and roll, but rock and roll music is more than just, guitar and drums. It's about R&B. It's the beginning of how music started here in Cleveland with the Moondog Coronation Ball and Alan Freed. And I think it's a lot of hip hop, which, is definitely something that we see in the NBA, and, we influence on a content perspective and, throughout warm-ups and everything throughout the game. So that's been like a really awesome thing to be able to activate, especially with fans, the limited amount of fans that we've had, because I know a lot of teams are activating just music strictly for the players because they don't have a lot of other people besides them in the building. So I think it's been great to get a couple thousand fans in to really be able to activate these nights even more than we would have with no fans.
Kudos to you guys, because it's one of those things where you're incorporating your culture in Cleveland, but you're also shedding awareness on women, female singers and different types of music, and you're also integrating, like you said, Motown and the Pistons, getting the whole entire league involved. So that's kind of cool. Game day, when you guys get to the field house, what's it like for each of you? Because before the call, we said you guys are in different locations in the arena. So Adam, we can start with you, then Nicole can jump in, and then Josh, you can bring us home.
Yeah, so I am in the red zone. I'm one of the 7 of our staff that's not in basketball operations, that's down on the floor. From the game operations staff, it's me and our PA announcer. So obviously it's a testing protocol, same throughout the league, 2 negative tests before 2 days before each game. So, we do that right at the field house. It's no issue for me. I feel bad because I live right here downtown, 10-minute walk tops. There's some people that live an hour away, 40 minutes away. So I'm sure those drives in, early in the morning are always fun. But, other than that, it's pretty standard. The red zone, we get an email every day of like, hey, this is what time it's a red zone down the floor. This is what time it goes yellow for cleaning in between. And then here, final red zone, once you enter, you can't leave. So I think our building operations group has been great. It's really no inconvenience to me. Everything is straightforward. We have, the building's marked thoroughly. It's a good system, I think, that they put in place between our building and the league.
Right, different and effective. Nicole, you can go next.
Yeah, our building operations team has done a great job. Like Adam said, we have different zones. We have red zone, yellow zone, green zone, and everybody's, knows where they're supposed to be located. Everything's mapped out at certain times. Different zones change different colors. It's different for me because usually, on a typical game day pre-COVID, I'd be on the floor running the court. We'd have so much going on. And now I have no access really to the event level during certain times. So I'm now located Upper Bowl. And like Adam mentioned, previously our whole entertainment area is up there now. So we're activating that as much as we can to kind of bring our entertainment teams, our mascot, our MC, all those guys to life. So it's a fun little area that we're still, adapting each game and growing it and developing and evolving. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the safety protocols, we enter the building, we always get our temperature scan checked. And then we're able to go through and then just kind of stay in our zone. So typically when I'd be running all around the arena, I'm kind of locked into Upper Bowl. So, but it's been great. It's been great. And it's still a safe, fun place to be.
Right. You're put into this box, unfortunately, because you're used to kind of going kind of everywhere with free will without having any constraints. Josh, what's it like in the control room? I'm assuming there's plexiglass, you guys are wearing masks, keeping your distance, right? Is that kind of the rundown?
Yeah, that's it for the most part. I mean, I'm still out in the bowl. I know my position has been moved. I do all the in-game audio. This is my 16th season doing it. So normally I'm kind of in amongst the radio broadcast area, which is like in our club level. But this year we had to move that because of the protocols. So we actually were pretty fortunate that when our transformation of the building happened and was completed in September of 19, we had the Budweiser Brew House, which is this, upper deck area that we kind of blew out a bunch of seats. And now it's kind of like a standing room only area. And in that area, we put a DJ booth, which normally we would have a lot of different DJs, at least 2 or 3 local DJs that would activate that. And this year we basically made that my spot to where all the audio is played. And so we're very fortunate to have that. That's also the same area where we're doing a lot of, in-game activations. We have a small area up there that, does not get touched by fans and just by us. So it makes it easier to do a few more of the traditional things we would normally do on court, not to the most visible area that we normally would have, but with cameras, we're able to get up there and complete that. So it's definitely a lot higher view than I'm normally used to, especially, trying to be in tune with what's going on in the game. But, mainly looking a lot at our giant video board and getting, the same kind of views I would get normally through that. But it's been nice. We're very fortunate that our construction was completed at the end of 19 and didn't go into 20, because I think, everything that we did to transform the building from what it was has been great and really create a lot more space, not only for us, but for the fans.
Adam, you mentioned a lot about working with your digital team. I know some teams are working with either a second screen experience or something for fans at home on the app. Well, what are the Cavs doing? Any developments on that side?
Yeah, so we're doing in games. It all just launched last Friday, and we're definitely growing upon that. So we have in-game apps that we created in house, and then we're also working with a partner, Sparks. The Magic were the first to use them last year in the bubble, where it's, I forget the exact term, but it's basically real life, kind of like trivia. Like you pick, hey, who's going to get the tip off? Who's going to score the first point?
Mm-hmm.
Who can have the most points out of these four players? It's really a cool thing that we're doing, and we're looking to actually bring that in game for possible halftime for all the fans that are sitting in their seats. So it would be like Ahmad, our host, and even our mascots. We have two of them, Moondog and Sir Cece. They have puppets where they could ask questions, and everyone can play along. And the winner of halftime, because what's really cool about Sparks is you can just do it, for a smaller area. So it's like everyone that's in the field house, you can just put it to that. So not people at home are playing along too. So you can be like, hey, we can find the winner that's inside the field house that's doing this live, because you wouldn't be able to push out that broadcast, or you could separate it from that home users as well. So I think that's really cool. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that just launched that we're getting familiar with, and we're excited to see how it's all going to evolve. But the main one is really Sparks, and I thought that worked really well in the bubble. And as soon as we saw that, everyone was like, "Hey, what was that? That was different." So we're excited to partner with them.
Yeah, you're just upping the interactivity with the fans, whether they're in the arena or they're at home. Because even if the field house is sold out, there will be people that once everything's fine, moving on in the future. Some people unfortunately won't be able to go to the game. There's just not enough seats. So even if you can't make it, that'll be something cool to see what happens. So Josh, I'll start with you on this last one. It's more than the three of you on your team. I'm sure there's other people that deserve some recognition on this spotlight right here. So Josh, you can go, and then Nicole and Adam. Hopefully no one, there are some people left that Josh and Nicole haven't said. So Josh, you go first, man.
Yeah, obviously, we have a small group in our game entertainment group, but Katie Gibbons has done a great job, and Nicole's worked with her on activating our entertainers in a spot where we didn't know, even a month before the season, if we were going to be able to do that. And so I think, Katie has done a great job of not only trying to find a way to get them involved when they're not performing, especially with our drum line, the 216 sticks, getting them to do prompts for us in game when we mic them up. They can do defense prompts or let's go Cavs prompts, and they can add some atmosphere that we would normally have. And then also, just as Adam said earlier, pre-recording, using our lighting entertainment package, on the non-game days when we can get access to the court. And we even have some performances coming up at the Rock Hall that we're going to shoot with some exhibits that are going to theme things out. So I think Katie's done a great job of trying to organize those things when, like we said, we worked on the fly. We didn't know what we would have access to. We didn't know if we were going to be able to bring in some of these part-time entertainers, and she's done a great job with that. So definitely kudos to her.
Nicole, is there anyone top of mind that you have?
Yeah, I was going to go with Katie too, because we've just worked so closely together just to get those entertainment teams up and rolling, and just to feed off of what Sabo said. It's just been interesting to see everything evolve, because we tried, this new thing where we're pre-recording all these entertainment teams and then pushing them in game. And we've evolved it to a level with now we're coordinating lights with it. And it's almost kind of like a huge production every time these teams perform. So it's pretty neat. But so kudos to Katie. And then also our whole FHC team. They've been really great this season, just as everything's evolved and trying to get content turned around quickly, and also working with our social and digital teams. Those guys have been extremely helpful to get some more content for in-game entertainment.
Adam, you're up last. You're last. You got anyone you got to shout out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our host Ahmad, I mean, he's been great. He's a staple in the industry. He brings the energy, you know, even when we had 300 fans there, like it was, you know, 20,562.
Right.
He's been great. You know, both our mascots have been awesome. You know, they're really taking over a huge part of the show. We're the only team with two in the league, and they've been doing anything and everything to make content, you know, since last March, going above and beyond. So, you know, great job to them. Then, you know, I would just say shout out to our digital team again. You know, they're down there in the red zone with me. And if I go, hey, do you think I can get this? You know, we got 2 shooters down there. They can get us those stills. They can get us video. They're doing a great job on quick turns. So, you know, shout out to them. And then also from our marketing department, we have Nick and Ian, who are actually our crowd, in Marlin, who are 3 crowd noise operators. They're used to doing marketing, concourse activation, running, hey, what's going to go in broadcast. And they're just 3 guys along with Nicole that are just really into the game of basketball. They understand it, which was the whole part of crowd noise. You have to know the game of basketball and how the fans are going to react. And most importantly, about the crowd noise is how your fans are going to react to certain type of things that happen in game by players. You know, it could be a checks in, you know, a big one for us is he hasn't played this year yet, but when Deli checks in, the fans always go loud. He gets a little bit louder of a response. Sometimes other players, because everyone remembers the championship run, etc. So, you know, just knowing all those little things that normally happen and how you can play to that to make that experience just that much better and feel like how it used to be in normal has been great.
Well, Cleveland seems like the place to be. The Brownies are back in the playoffs. The Indians are in the playoffs, and you guys have a future with a stud, Colin Sexton. So can't wait to see how he develops and how the team goes. But first of all, Adam, Nicole, Josh, thanks for taking the time. Keep up the great work, and hopefully I get to see you in person when it's safe enough to do so.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.